Well, the story of this game, the inability to finish in the fourth quarter. I got to give credit where credit is due. The amount of injuries that the Boston Celtics have, and the way they played late in that game, they deserve to win. The Raptors, a ton of careless turnovers, couldn't make your wide open shots. CJ Miles was an absolute joke. You didn't deserve to win that, and credits to the Celtics for handing the Raptors the loss, and the Raptors now are only 2 games up on the Celtics. We play them again, and we play Cleveland on Tuesday in Cleveland. So, look, am I worried? No. Am I frustrated about the loss? Yes, because it could have been avoided. The way this team defended and really didn't make their shots late, it killed them. The Boston Celtics do not take a lot of threes. But they take their quality threes and they make them. They were 7 of 17 today for 41%. Raptors, they're known to take a bunch, but it's whether they make them or not. We have no clue what we're going to get from one game to the next. One game they get 16 and shoot 40-something% from 3, and we're like, oh yeah, baby, we're rocking. And then you have a game like today where they go 8 for 35. You know how we were talking real garbage about Serge Ibaka a little while ago, people? Well, he was 15 points, 10 rebounds today, 5 of 7 shooting, and 3 of 3 from 3. And JV was 1 of 2. You made 8 threes. Your 2 big men made half of them. That tells you right there. This team did not play well in the offensive end tonight. Now, credits to the Celtics. They did play a very, very good defensive game in this game. I mean, they were terrific. By the way, I said Valanciunas made the 3. No, it was OG Anunoby who was 1 for 2 from 3. So, forget the whole big man thing. That just was avoided there. But Lowry was 2 of 8. DeRozan was 0 of 4. Like I said, CJ Miles was 0 of 5. Was 0 of 6 from the field, and he was atrocious. 3 points, 5 rebounds, and the problem with CJ Miles, guys, he was not only ice cold from 3, and ice cold in general. He had 4 fouls and 4 turnovers. And this guy is playing with 3 minutes left in the game. We play the hot hand. Problem was, there wasn't enough guys who were hot in the game. Freddie VanVleet had 11 coming off the bench, 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. I'm shocked he didn't end the game, because that's what we've gotten used to. And something I question from Coach Casey, why in the world, if it's not working, or if it is working, why do you put Norman Powell out there in the fourth quarter and expect him to do everything for you? I know a lot of people are going to say, well, just trade Norman Powell. Look, I'm sorry. When you are sitting for 3 quarters in a back and forth type of game, and you're told by the coach, here's the fourth quarter, go guard Jason Tatum. What? Powell did the best he could. And, I mean, he played 8 minutes, had 2 points, was 1 of 3 shooting, 0 of 2 from 3. But, I mean, what was the point of that? I didn't understand it. But then you weren't making your shots. Like I said, he was 0 of 2 from 3. Siakam was 0 of 1 from 3. DeLon Wright was 0 of 1 from 3. This team just offensively didn't look great. But, again, I'm going to keep reiterating it because it can't go unnoticed. The defense by the Celtics late in that game really stymied the Raptors, plus a lot of careless, stupid turnovers. That's just what it was. The Raptors had how many turnovers? 15 turnovers in this game. They had 5. Look, the Raptors are one of the greatest teams in the league when it comes to points off of turnovers, but you can't do that if you're not getting the turnovers. But the problem today was they were turning the ball over like 6 or 7. I think that's like 7 or 8 turnovers in the fourth quarter. It's a joke. Down the stretch, that cannot happen. Plain and simple. 23 assists to their 18, so you did great there. They had 6 steals to your 1. Again, like the turnovers there. It's just, look, the Celtics played great. They're on a roll right now, even without their main guys. And the Raptors, as of late, we got to say that they really just have not played the greatest basketball. Yes, they're 7-3 in their last 10 games, but they really just haven't looked right. They haven't looked the way we want them to look heading into the playoffs. And now with 6 games remaining, you're only 2 up on these Celtics, and you play them again. The only positive is you play at the Air Canada Centre. This team did not play well enough tonight to get the victory. That's the bottom line. It was a great game. Great 3 quarters, back and forth game. It was like 20 or something lead changes. That is insane. But the Raptors just went ice cold. DeMar DeRozan, he had a terrific night. We talk about, DeMar DeRozan had 32.7 boards, 7 assists on 12 of 19 shooting and 8 of 10 from the free throw line. I mean, he was great, but he was a -8 on the floor. That's the problem, right? You could throw up 40 if you want, but if you're still a minus on the floor, it really doesn't do a whole lot for yourself. DeMar was great, but your next best scorer, Serge Ibaka at 15. JV with 13 points, 11 rebounds on 6 of 12 shooting and 0 of 1 from 3. He was all right. The Raptors just couldn't get that extra guy. You look at the Boston Celtics and what did they do? Well, Tatum had 24 and Morris had 25. There you go. And then you had a supporting cast of Rozier with 21, Baines with 12, Horford with 14. That's all they needed. The Raptors just were not good enough on the offensive end, especially late in the game when the Boston Celtics really tightened up defensively and the Raptors just didn't. Right? That's all it is. Now, putting this game behind us because in the end, it is just a regular season game. We can break this down. We can be as frustrated as we want. Celtic fans can be as happy as they darn well please because it's a good win. But in the end, it's a regular season game with 6 games left in the season. Right? It really does not matter in the long run, but standings-wise, it's putting a little fire onto the Raptors' belly. Because the Celtics are coming up red hot. And it doesn't get any easier for the Toronto Raptors as they take on the Cleveland Cavaliers on Tuesday in Cleveland at 7 p.m. LeBron James and the Cavs in Cleveland. We saw what they did last time to us on the offensive end. But the only thing I'm going to say about that game, defense. You know the type of looks you're going to get on the offense. Defense. That's it. You can't give up 132 points again. You just can't do that. 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose those type of games. Why? Because LeBron James on the other side, and he's clutch. So when you give up 132, the odds of you losing that game against LeBron, pretty good. You got to play hard defense, and making it tough for LeBron, you can only do so much. The way I talk about LeBron James is you can't shut him down. It is physically impossible. Contain the guys around him. Contain Kevin Love. Guys like that. The Raptors got to find a way to beat Cleveland because that would show a lot of people what this Raptor team is really made of. What we've seen against Boston, the Raptors play tight games. You lost against Boston at the beginning of the year by 95-94. Then you crushed Boston at home. Now, for the most part, this was a very, very close game, but they came out on top. It ended up being by, 11 points. So it looks a lot bigger than it was, but the Raptors just fell apart at the end. So ideally, it was a close game right to the very end, except for the fourth quarter. So those games are all real tight. And we know we can beat them, if we have to face them. And I'm not saying it's a cakewalk, because they're a very solid team. But it is possible. In Cleveland, I have not seen it. The Raptors have not beat Cleveland in a very long time, it feels like. And the whole LeBron James and the Cavs against the Toronto Raptors, that whole thing is still a thing. Until the Raptors beat Cleveland in Cleveland and before the Raptors beat Cleveland or in the playoffs. That's when we get some recognition is there. But, hey, it's a statement game. Today you lost it. Oh, well, you got to move on. It's the way it is. You can't dwindle on this game because you have, Sunday and Monday off before Tuesday. You take on the Cavs in Cleveland at 7 o'clock. So it's going to be a fun game to watch. The Raptors got to play defense. That's all there is to it, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys enjoyed the game, because it was a good game to watch, hey, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. And the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of this game. I don't need to ask who your player of the game was because it's obviously DeMar. He was the only guy who really did anything out there. Kyle did have a 9 assists, but he was 4 of 10. He wasn't even all that great. DeMar was terrific, though, on the offensive end at least. But let me know what you guys thought of the game. Where did this Raptor team go wrong in this one? Look, it's three-point shooting. We talked about it all year about the inconsistent three-point shooting. That's the main factor for this team. And it continued again tonight. What are we going to see against Cleveland? We're going to have to wait and see, all right? So you know what, guys? We will talk to you guys Tuesday podcast edition. We'll be talking to you Leafs, Raptors, Jays, all that kind of stuff. Podcast channel link in the description. Podcast itself to iTunes. Link in the description below. Also, guys, whoa, excuse me, smacked my phone all over the place. Twitter is down in the description. So, guys, Maple Leaf Square, Jurassic Park in the playoffs. I'm going to reiterate this in every single video the rest of the way. Please, if you are planning on going down to the Air Canada Centre and being outside in Jurassic Park or Maple Leaf Square for the Leafs or Raptors playoffs, send me a direct message, DM me down below on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter, hey, you know what? Make a quick account, fire me a message. That's the easiest way of getting in contact with me. You know, messaging me in the comments is a little bit of a tough one, but Twitter is the easiest way to get a hold of me. So, again, follow up down below and send me a DM if you guys are up for it. We'll talk to you guys, Leafs edition very shortly as they lost to the Winnipeg Jets. We'll get to that in a little bit of where that game took a turn for the worse in that one. We'll talk to you guys, Jays edition, tomorrow afternoon as Marcus Stroman goes up against Sonny Gray in the finale of that series. Jays look to split the series 2-2 to start the season, and that would be nice. And also, we'll talk to you guys Raptors edition, like we said, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. tip-off. Raptors, Cavs, in Believeland. We'll talk to you guys then.